Hey y'all, it's Lisha, and welcome to another episode of Happy Healing Hole. Y'all, I gotta get in on this conversation because this conversation has been going on ever since even I was in college, a little over 20 years ago, and because I had to make sure I say it out loud, I don't age myself, and it's denouncing fraternity and sororities. Before I get into this, everything that's going to be said in today's video are not reflective of the beliefs of the organization to which I belong, which is the illustrious sorority of Sigma Gamma Rho Sorority Incorporated. Um, and they're neither are they beliefs of my chapter. So we are clear. So y'all ready to get into it? Let's go. Hey y'all, I'm back. Now, before people get in the comments and say that I'm justifying something that's not of God, I want to make something crystal clear, okay? On this here channel, most of the things that I talk about are not only stories that belong to me, but they are factual things. And I am a scholar of much. And the Bible is one thing I am a scholar of. And when it comes to your values, one thing I know more than anything that my salvation is my responsibility. It is not others. And while I understand that we are going to hold our brethren accountable to good things, their cultural and social groups are taking it a bit far. And why I'm so concerned about this is because there are people like myself and others in the future who can benefit from the community that come from these organizations. And this trend these trends are disparaging history that extends even beyond us. Now, I'm filming this on Juneteenth, okay? Which is a key aspect in Black American history. And so are Black Greek letter organizations. So let's talk about it. Whether you're currently in a fraternity or sorority or you're considering joining one, you need to check your own values and understand who you are as a person first. I joined my organization when I was 18 years old. So I have been in my organization now for over 22 years. And I mean, has it always been roses and purple? No, absolutely not. But I can tell you more than anything that I have grown so much as a woman because I have encountered some of those powerhouse women. And I too now am that powerhouse woman that people are encountering in their experience with my sorority. And so I'm going to discuss some of the challenges and the misconceptions about Greek life and share stories from myself and ways that I know that being a part of my organization has cultivated things in me that I'm not sure I would have been able to obtain if I was not in that environment. So if you're curious about it, be sure to stick around to hear my story and my beliefs. And of course, I'm going to refute the 5 reasons why people do it and match them to the 5 reasons why I'm not denouncing my organization. Stay tuned. 5 reasons why people are denouncing their organizations, okay? Conflicts with religious beliefs. Some argue that the rituals and the oaths that we take in Greek letter organizations conflict with Christian beliefs. 2, exclusivity and elitism. People claim, critics that is, that these organizations promote exclusivity and elitism and that leads to division and it lacks inclusivity. 3, hazing and harmful practices. Reports of hazing and other psychologically harmful things are why people are choosing to step away and heal themselves from these organizations. Misalignment, number 4, is misalignment with your personal growth. Social aspects and the party life associated with it, it really does pull people back. It doesn't push anyone forward. And it's distracting from like whatever your academic and your professional or personal goals are while you're in school, if you did it in undergraduate like I did. And number 5, historical and systemic issues. So a lot of people have an issue that, it's very racist or sexist. And because it lacks the inclusivity, those historical and systemic issues are why people walking away from Greek life. However, those 5 issues, I am going to tell you 5 reasons why I'm going to stay. And for those of you who are going to come here and Bible thump, I'm going to give you scriptures that go with them. And you can go read them and we can talk about those in the comments. Okay? Let's get started. 1, brotherhood and sisterhood. It is no joke. The sisterhood is straight what it is. It is a unifying act that brings women together, and they connect, different women, diverse women, and they connect on one thing, and they create a sisterhood. So for me, I think about Psalms 133:1, how good and pleasant it is for brethren to dwell together in unity. When we're in those meetings and all those things happen, we are not arguing about, we're not talking about any satanic worship. We are arguing about how we're going to help the people in the community to continue to uplift them and rise and improve the state of our community. That's what we're talking about. Okay. And another scripture that goes together, encourage one another and build one another up, just as in fact you are doing. Being able to be connected to a person allows you to build up. You can build up that person to make them feel better. I know on my hard days when I was going through my divorce and being a single mom and all those things, my sorority sisters hold me down and I hold them down. I can give you an amazing example of sisterhood. When I was doing my daughter's graduation party a couple weeks ago, I had to handle some sorority business, do some service. And another sorority sister of mine instead was at my house with my partner and my best friend, who was my child's godmother, setting up my home so that when I came back, I was able to do the things I need to do. It was service on both ends. She provided me service and I was doing things for the community. We all work together. Collective collaboration is what I find in my experience. Number 2, service, which is what I was just talking about. You, my brothers, Galatians 5:13. We're called to be free, but do not use your freedom to indulge in flesh, rather serve one another humbly in love. Egos are, you confront them every day, regardless of what you're doing. But when you can put your ego to the side to decide to serve a person, your sister, and the community itself, it's key. Humanity needs more of that, okay? And another thing, Matthew 26 through 28 talks about we are all called to serve and give life just as Christ did for us. We are called to serve others the way that Christ did for us. And I'm not here to justify my beliefs because I don't really need your approval. I am here trying to bring knowledge of the positive things that these organizations do that people are forgetting about because of all the trends that state the negative things. Okay? So keep listening. 3 more to go. Leadership and professional development and personal development. When you're involved in these organizations, you're naturally going to develop leadership skills. Service requires a lot of leadership as well as personal development. I know in the assertive communication episode, I was telling you about my older sorority sister who told me one day I would be able to communicate without cursing people and not being angry anymore. And I have now. And now that I provide that service to my sorority sisters, I mentor a lot of young women. I'm even meeting up with one of my sorors tomorrow just to walk through some things she's going through in life. I reach out to my sisters. I am indeed my sister's keeper. And because I am a leader, okay? And 1 Timothy 4:12 says, do not let anyone look down upon you because you are young. Despite thy youth is what it says. but be an example of speech and conduct, love and faith, and in purity and unity. And listen, I was 18 years old when I walked into Sigma Gamma Rho, and it was a decision that I have not regretted since. And so when I see people denounce something that I hold dear to me, but I do not use as my God, because I only have one God. I don't have idol issues at all. But it is something I know that I have, which the second verse that I'm going to cover, which is Proverbs 27:17, about iron sharpening iron. My swords, we hold each other accountable to stay prayed up. We pray for each other. We fast for each other. Sis, I need you praying and fast for me because I'm going through something. And we're going to do that together. And it's not for show. There's nothing performative about the sisterhood that I experience. It's not perfect, but it's surely not performative. Number 4, community and fellowship. Acts 2:42. People should devote themselves to apostles' teaching, fellowship, to breaking bread, and to prayer. I just gave you an example. I can give you another example. We do Bible studies together. We listen to podcasts together. We do prayer calls together. Those are things that we do together as a whole to make sure that we can continue to combat the things that we face in our everyday lives. Hebrews 10:24, and let us consider how we spur one another and toward love and good deeds, not giving up meeting together, and the habit of doing, encouraging one another, and all more as you see the day approaching. And what that means is this: we encourage one another to do good deeds in fellowship. Working together and building a community and fellowship is something that you get naturally, not just from your own organization, but the 9 when we come together. This week, I went to a community service project for organ and tissue donation. And we were all there in our colors talking about how we donate. We know people who have donated and given life. And we had a moment of silence for people who passed. That is a valiant effort that we are all coming together to stand behind, because we know that African Americans are the most affected by that issue. Organ and tissue donation matches are hard to find for people of color. And the Black Greeks are coming together to get that done. Voting registration initiatives. The civil rights movement itself was led by many, many, many Black Greek letter organizations. The liberties that come from the history of these organizations, including my own. 7 school teachers at Butler University, all predominantly white institution. That is rich history. History that we have, that we own, and this denouncement discussion is causing further division of the brethren based on organizations that are bringing them together. Now, we all have bad apples, but that's not what this video is about. We're talking about the good ones. We're talking about people like me and other sorors. I know that we do what we can to help one another. And last but not least, this is my favorite one: scholarship. Consistently remaining relevant in the field and being able to network and be stronger and be more successful so that you can help the community. 2 scriptures that go with that. 2 Timothy 2:15, study to show thyself approved unto God, a workman needed not to be ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth. And let me tell you what else about that means. That means I have the ability to know what does not fit with me and what does. I'm going to say it again, because when you talk about denouncement, you're talking about, as a preacher I saw said, you're talking about my integrity and my intelligence. And both are quite sharp, because integrity is my love language and intelligence is how I walk, and it's in my talk. And being a part of an organization where scholarship is number 1, not just for us, how we hold one another accountable, we make sure that the youth understands it in our community service activities. And last but not least, and this is my favorite one, Proverbs 4:7. And this is for everyone. The beginning of wisdom is this: get wisdom. And I hope in all you're getting understanding. Get understanding. Okay. So before you say, I'm not going to join this because of my popular influencer says this or that, or it's demonic worship. No, get some understanding. Take the time to talk to people who love their organization and figure out why. The 5 reasons why I stayed are my 5 values that I resonated with and connected with into my organization, sisterhood, scholarship, service, leadership, and personal and professional development, community, and fellowship. Those are my 5 values. So to question whether or not I would join something or connect myself to something that is not aligned to what I believe in means you do not know me. And you don't know others either. There are so many people involved in this, your school teachers, everybody, your whole life. I know one thing with me, I didn't realize how many people I grew up with that were involved in my sorority until I crossed. And that was a beautiful experience. And I get to continue to serve with them, even though we've been serving together since we were children. We serve together now in my chapter, and we love it. Find you some love. That's the greatest gift. Excuse me for the rant, but I had to say something on this fine Juneteenth. I love y'all so much. Keep your head up and on swivel. Talk soon. Have a great night.